Hi, dear friends. I just wanted to make this video because as I was sitting here quietly with my visions, as usual, I could feel the heaviness of what's happening in the world all around us. And my heart, it always, in these moments, returns to this simple yet profound truth. God is a parent. God is not one. And just like on earth, we have a mother who brings us forth into this world with such tender care, and a father who helps shape the very structure and purpose of who we are. It's the same way in heaven. There's a divine feminine, a goddess, the perfect counterpart to our heavenly Father. Together, they represent the most perfect love, the love that creates. You have to stop for a few minutes and think about what it truly means to create something. To bring a child into the world, or a dream, or an entire universe. You have to have passion, you really do. You have to love the idea so deeply that you pour every part of yourself into it, making it real. That's exactly how our heavenly parents brought everything into being, the whole universe, and every single one of us. It's a living result of their perfect love. Genesis 1:27 tells us, "So God created man in his image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them both." So both aspects of the divine are reflected in all of us. Even in Proverbs chapter 8, it speaks of wisdom as the feminine presence who was with the Lord from the very beginning, rejoicing always before him, rejoicing in the habitable part of earth. And it says, "And my delights were with the sons of men." She was daily his delight. Creation itself was an act of joyful, loving partnership. And that's why love matters so much. God is love. 1 John 4:7-8 says it plainly, "Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God. And everyone that loves is born of God and knows God." And that is so true. He that doesn't love doesn't know God, for God is love. So when we love, we're touching the very nature of our heavenly parents. When we create beauty, when we protect the vulnerable, when we forgive, when we see the divine in a tree, or the loyalty of an animal, or a word spoken at the most perfect moment, we're seeing God moving through this world. It really breaks my heart to see how much hatred fills the air today. And hatred is the total opposite of everything our heavenly parents are. It's anti-creation. It tries to tear down what they built with such care and passion. And that's the spiritual warfare of our time. And it is very real. In Ephesians 6:12, it reminds us, it says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, and against the rulers of darkness and of the world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." The Bible also warns in the book of Revelations 12:12 that in these last days the devil has come down with great wrath because his time is short. 2 Timothy 3:1 added, "This know also, that in the last days and perilous times shall come." These forces are crafty. They often don't appear as obvious monsters. They work in the mind, the quiet places of the thought and feeling that's trying to divide you against yourself. Jesus understood this completely when he told us to take up our cross daily and follow him in Luke 9:23. He was not only speaking of a wooden beam on a hill. The cross represents the whole of who you are. It's your mind, it's your spiritual connection, your emotions, and your physical body. And in this world, these four parts are constantly being pulled apart. A thought of doubt creeps in and stirs up fear and more emotions, and then those emotions lead to choices that hurt the body or disconnect the spirit even more. Evil wants to hang you on that cross. It really does. It wants to crucify your confidence, plant despair so deep that you feel that there's no reason left to keep going. Jesus lived this. He was questioned, he was mocked, betrayed, robbed of his reputation, attacked for his love and his truth. And he felt the weight in his body, his emotions, his mind, and even cried out in that moment of the deepest testing. He said, my God, why have you forsaken me?" So he knew what this world was about. Yet he held on with love. He even said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. He saw their ignorance because they really didn't understand. Jesus showed us how to carry that cross without letting it destroy the love inside. The world is hard, but don't let it rob you of love. Everyone's cross looks different. The enemy is clever and hits you wherever you're the most sensitive. If money worries you, financial pressure arrives. If you long for acceptance, people may turn away or speak against you. If you question whether you're walking your spiritual pathway rightly, then doubt is going to get whispered right into your thoughts. If it's something regarding your appearance or your achievements, which matter deeply to you, those areas will come under fire. 1 Peter 5:8 says, the devil walks about as a roaring lion, seeking to devour whom he can. 2 Corinthians 2:11 also says, not to be ignorant of his devices. But when a soul is meant to grow greatly, the tests come stronger. Many have fallen under that weight, unfortunately, and it's sad. But how many could have stayed on the cross the way Jesus did, in poverty or without the comfort of family, while the world questioned and attacked his very goodness? Not many. Yet those who do, like Job is a great example, and Abraham, they come out with a faith that nothing can shake. Let me talk about Job for a minute, because I really feel his story is like so much of what many people are going through right now. Job had everything. He had a good life, a loving family. He had health and wealth. He honored God with all of his heart. And then in the heavenly courts, the devil challenged him. God allowed the test, and Job lost it all. His children, his health, his possessions. Job 1 and 2 is a great example to show us in the conversation that was going on in heaven. Job couldn't understand why a loving God would permit so much suffering, but yet even in the middle of his pain, he declared, though he slay me, yet I will still trust him. So he refused to give up on God. He kept his love and his integrity, even when everything visible around him had gone wrong. And in Job 42, we see the beautiful ending. God restored to Job double of everything he had lost, and he gave him greater wisdom and blessing than before. The test was never about punishing Job. It was to show Job and all of us that what he truly had all along was God himself. The blessings are wonderful, but the real treasure is the relationship that survived the fire. Abraham's story in Genesis 22 carries the same deep lesson. After years of waiting and praying for a child, God gave Abraham and Sarah their miracle son Isaac. And then in the story, God asks Abraham to offer Isaac back to him on the altar. It made no sense in this world. Abraham must have been torn to pieces, yet he trusted the higher plan enough to prepare to obey. And at the very last moment, God stopped him and provided him another offering, a ram caught in the thicket. Genesis 22:12 records God's words. He said, now I know that you fear God, seeing that you would not have withheld your son, your only son, from me. But it was never God's intention for Abraham to lose his child. The test was whether Abraham would put God first, even if it cost him everything that he loved the most. And because he did, the promise of blessing continued through Isaac and all of those descendants. These stories aren't just ancient history. These are mirrors for what many of you are walking through today, even myself. I'm talking about this for people right now, I think, because there are a lot of people who feel like they're hanging on to their own cross right now. For the person who's homeless out there or barely keeping a roof overhead, for the one crushed by money worries and debt that never seem to end, for the souls who are doubting their spiritual journey and wondering if they've done enough or gone wrong, for the heart that has let a root of bitterness grow because the pain has been so constant. I know what spiritual warfare feels like. I saw these times coming a long time ago in the visions that God gave me, and the events and leaders of our day today are confirming the prophecies, not always just in their words, but in the spirit behind their actions. This world feels heavy, but it is still an illusion compared with the eternal reality of God's love. The struggles are allowed for a reason. They're meant to wake people up, to strengthen what is real inside of us, to prove that our love for God is not dependent on how easy life always is. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Psalm 139, 7 through 10 asks the beautiful question, "Whither shall I go from my spirit, or whither shall I flee from thy presence? If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand hold me." And how true that is, because God is everywhere. He's in the wind, he's in the quiet voice inside, he's in the eyes of the person sitting next to you. You're never truly alone. When the weight feels unbearable, remember what Job and Abraham both went through, and that God stopped the knife. He restored what was lost, he gave more. He'll not abandon you in terrible places either, if your heart is truly set on him. Surrender the outcome to the higher plan. Trust that whatever is happening is meant to, and it's meant to because it's going to bring you greater light and a love that can't be shaken. Love is your strongest armor. Ephesians 6:16 says, "Take up the shield of faith so that you can quench all of the fiery darts of the wicked one." And 1 John 4:18 says, "There is no fear in love, but love casteth out fear." So if your cross feels heavy today or any day, if the attacks are coming at the places that you're most tender, or you're tired of fighting and wondering how much longer you can hold up, please hear this. You are being seen. You are loved beyond anything this world can measure. Put God first, even when it makes no sense. Look for the beauty and the divine in everything around you. Protect your spiritual energy, cleanse it, pray, and with acts of love and gratitude, you are a hand of God in action. The times we're in are confirming what was written long ago, and that means the invitation to draw closer to God has never been stronger. This world will pass, but the love of our heavenly parents won't. The illusion will fade, and what's real will remain standing. You have more strength inside of you than you know, because that strength isn't just yours alone. It's the love of God and his divine counterpart flowing right through you. So let that love heal the divisions within your own heart, and let it cast out the fear and the doubt. Let it become the light that others see when they're hanging on their own crosses. For in the end, love always wins, and God is love, and you are their beloved child held in arms that will never let you go. With all of that love, you could never go wrong. And I say this message because everyone knows I've been going through so many trials myself, and I know that sometimes it tries to peck at me and push at me and burden me, but I know in my deepest heart of hearts that I shouldn't have any fear. Even if there's just a moment of upset or worry or anxiety over it, I turn right back to my Lord and Maker, and I give it to him, and I say, whatever your will is, let it be done, because I know he'll choose the greatest will for me. I've lived my soul contract. I work it step by step. I follow his guidance. Sometimes I might be a little behind in the guidance, but I catch up, and as long as you're doing the best that you can, depending on, how life is being thrown at you, you work around it, and that's what guidance is for. It's to help you to have a few steps ahead so that you can see those things coming and be able to combat against them as they're coming toward you. In some circumstances, you may not be able to, but just keeping in your heart that love of God and the belief that he'll help you through what feels like something you can't change or fix or do anything about, that faith and that love alone is the elixir. God and his divine counterpart, our Heavenly Mother and Father, and the whole family above, love you unconditionally. There's nothing they would not do for you. They never leave you, even when the night feels longest. They never put more on you than you can carry, though it can surely feel that way sometimes. But for those who are truly chosen by God, and those who love God without conditions, not because he makes life comfortable, but because he's the one who made them, and has never stopped watching. In Matthew 22:37, it says, "Thou shalt love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind." And 1 Corinthians 13 tells us that this kind of love never fails. It bears all things, believes all things, it hopes all things, and most importantly, endures all things. Now, the Akashic Records, the great book of remembrance, even spoken of in Malachi 3:16 and Revelation 20:12, it holds the long story of your soul across many chapters and many lifetimes. In each one, there have been tests, lessons that may have felt heavy at the time, but this life is a new chapter, and the soul keeps returning to this classroom until it learns the lessons so deeply that nothing in this world can pull your soul away from God ever again. Matthew 5:48 calls everyone to that place of strength. It says, "Be ye therefore perfect, as your Father which is in heaven is perfect." James 1:2-4 also encourages everyone to count it all when joy is there, when trials come, because the trying of our faith works patience, and patience finishes the work, especially when we become perfect and entire, lacking nothing. But again, many souls get stuck in the loop because they keep looking outside for answers instead of going within where God has been waiting the whole time. That's why true spiritual awareness is such a gift. It helps you discern whether something is a test meant to grow you or an attack meant to tear you down. It helps you to recognize the people and situations placed in your path and what they're here to teach. It lets you see God moving in the smallest details, the kind stranger, the protection that just came in time, the beauty that still breaks through the darkness. Thank you for watching. Please be strong. These times are hard for all of us, but never give up. You never know what the ultimate outcome is going to be unless you seek for it. But you have to have trust and know that God has the best answers. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next video. I'd also like to recommend, if you need advice, why not try a soul review or ask your angels, how they feel you're doing, or if there's anything that you need to be aware of and how to handle it. And that's what I'm here for. Take care of yourselves and one another. Please be kind. It doesn't matter if people are kind back. That's a condition. It doesn't matter if God helps you all the time. That's a condition. Just love for no reason. And you'll feel that that love is the greatest treasure of all because it attracts so much more of it. Even though there's always some force to fight against, evil will always try to block that. Having that love as your shield, your body armor itself, will protect you against so much more than you could ever imagine. And again, God is that love.